उस मुल्क में हम लोग रहते हैं जिस मुल्क में मतलब एटम बम बना सकता है, नंबर 1 इंटेलिजेंस इसके पास है, इंडिया के खिलाफ लड़ सकता है, लेकिन फिर भी कातिल नामालूम है।
To say that there is little societal discrimination that restrict Hazaras in their daily life would be a major understatement. Due to security concerns, there are restrictions in freedom of movement outside of the two Hazara enclaves in Quetta, and thus access to employment, education, and healthcare is limited. Many Hazaras have even reported that they are denied access to these fundamental rights to protect non-Hazara people as collateral damage from Hazara manslaughter. They have also suffered lethal attacks outside the Nadra office while trying to obtain passports in CNICs, and as a result, many Hazaras do not feel safe leaving the enclave to apply for documentation. Driven into virtual ghettoization, the community's freedom of movement remains severely limited, with many migrating abroad, often illegally. Outside Balochistan, it is safer for them to live separately amongst the general community than to live near other Hazaras, where they can be easily profiled and targeted. In fact, the sectarian conflict between Shia Hazaras and Sunnis was first witnessed in 1999 when an MPA Sardar Nisar Ali from Hazara community was attacked in Quetta. Since then, the atrocities have only went up in number. In the last 14 years alone, more than 2,000 Hazaras have reportedly been killed in various suicide bombings and target killings. That is 14 years of constant threats, violence, and a community being pushed towards extinction with no one held accountable. Here is a brief timeline of some major attacks where Hazaras have been killed while training, shot while offering Friday prayers, fell victim to suicide bombers, bombed while trying to help other victims following an initial detonation, blown up in vegetable markets, and massacred while returning from pilgrimage, with the most recent major attack occurring in the town of Mach, about 100 kilometers from Quetta, where 11 coal miners were kidnapped and killed by militants. It must be noted that this timeline showcases a very brief summary of some of the major attacks the Hazara community has suffered. The actual number remains far greater. The real motives behind such targeted massacres remain somewhat obscure. It is widely believed that the Shia-Sunni conflict that has plagued the region for years is the forerunner of the discrimination against the Hazara community, yet many insist that other Shia groups are living peacefully in areas of Dera Murad Jamali and Jafrabad in Balochistan. This gives weight to the view that these killings are not religiously motivated against Shias, rather they are targeted exclusively towards the Hazara community as a whole.